My favorite story would be the fact that they put us up. US 101 put us up across the road at we were over at the Osborne building over at Eastgate at the time, and they put us up across the road at Brainerd Road. There was a motel over there next to Krispy Kreme. We thought a couple of inches of snow, that's going to be it. So there's like 10, 12 of us over there, and we're all in the motel and stuff. We're all partying, hanging out and stuff, you know. So about 10:30, we're all like, there's nothing going on, man. There's nothing happening. So everybody starts kind of, okay, we may as well go to bed, you know, because it may snow tomorrow. I don't know. So everybody goes to bed around 10:30, 11 o'clock. I remember about midnight, 12:30, thunder wakes me up. I thought, thunder? I walked out on the balcony. There was already about 2 feet of snow on tops of cars in the parking lot. It was crazy, man. And by the next morning, this place was shut down. You could not go anywhere. The interstate was closed. Everything was just shut down. And we were lucky. We had a couple of four-wheel drive vehicles. We were lucky to get across Brainerd Road and across the parking lot at Eastgate to get to the radio station and actually be able to go on the air. It was crazy. Plus, I had to walk. I lived in Cleveland at the time, and I had to walk about a mile and a half in about 3 foot of snow, almost waist deep snow, a mile and a half to get to my house because I couldn't drive. And I knew, hey, I have no power at that house, and I got to get there. So I walked about a mile and a half in the snow, about 3 foot deep. It was crazy. But you know what I noticed? You guys or somebody was showing up some stuff on it yesterday afternoon, and I saw a sign at a convenience store. Gas was 82 cents a gallon. 82 cents a gallon. That's crazy. But it was crazy. But we survived it. I just hope we never have another one. US 101 was, I don't know what our cum was for that day and a half or 2 days time or whatever, but it had to be way up there. Because we actually were able to communicate with people and say, okay, this guy would call and say, I'm broke down over here, I can't get out. And somebody would hear this guy on the air with us. They'd go over. So we just kind of coordinated things and helped a lot of people get out of some pretty big trouble spots. And folks, elderly people who were home, couldn't get out of their homes, couldn't get anything to eat, needed medicine, that kind of thing. We'd put them on the air with us. They'd tell their story. Somebody would hear it, boom. And it was just coordinated like that. So I feel like we were a great help. You know, like we didn't have computers to speak of, maybe a few people, but nothing like we have now. Cell phones were very few and far between. If anybody had one, you were very, very lucky. So it was radio and or TV, and that was it. That's all you had. So.
Okay, let's see. And once again, he asked, how did you get to work?
How did I get to work that day? Well, we were staying across the road at Brainerd Road in a motel, and the radio station had a Jeep vehicle, a four-wheel drive, and our news director at the time's name was Ed Bice, and he had a four-wheel drive Jeep, and between the two of those, they carried the ones that were staying in the motel. Now, I think Ken stayed at home. Some other people chose to stay home. They didn't make it. They didn't make it. So, I mean, they were lucky just to get out of their house and get somewhere where there was some warmth because there was no electricity, no power anywhere hardly. So, but I stayed in the motel and was lucky enough to have heat there. And got to work. It took about probably 30, 45 minutes just to get across the parking lot at Eastgate to get to the Osborne building. So it took a while.
You could almost.
You know, it was an experience that I am glad that I lived through. I'll never forget it. I enjoy seeing some snow once in a while. I never want to see 2, 3 feet of snow again as long as I live. I don't want to have to go, even though we have the technology now to clear the roads pretty quickly and that kind of thing, and power can be kept up in most places. I just don't want to see that much snow again. I like the South for a reason. It's warm down here. I like that.
Excellent, sir.